Happy Friday, everybody. Anthony Cosenza here with Casabella Realty Group. And yes, I am wearing a hat. I know it may not be the most professional looking thing, but it's a big weekend in the sport of football. A lot of rivalries going on, particularly in Southern California. My team's got a big rivalry game, so I'm going to rock the lid here for this November 18th real estate market update. I hope you all had a great week. We're getting it in at the end of the day here. And right before the Thanksgiving holiday, we've got a lot to get to. Really just kind of updating you on where the market has transitioned, some helpful tips if you are selling and or buying your home, and just kind of a gauge on things right now. So we're gonna talk about some different headlines, and I'm gonna cite a lot of different sources, as well as some of our own experiences based on what's been happening the last couple of months, and hopefully you find it helpful and we can become your go-to resource for real estate information, referrals, that sort of thing. As we kicked off this video, you saw that lovely listing we have available at 249 Cypress Drive, Laguna Beach. Great property, 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, a large lot, 7,500 plus square feet, 2-car garage plus extra parking on the exterior. You've got a remodeled kitchen. We've got wood beams and wood paneling throughout the house, a ton of character, a lot of extra parking, and a lot of land, and all of that minutes close to the beach. I mentioned a remodeled kitchen, newer roof, all kinds of great updates to the property. Give us a call or get in contact with us to let us know how we can schedule a showing or an appointment for you on that great property, 249 Cypress Drive, and we can get you some more details on that. But you can hit us up at casabellasocal@gmail.com or at 949-280-0937. And of course, if you follow us on any of our social media channels or any of our agents on their respective individual social media platforms, go ahead and shoot them a DM or give us a shout, and we would love to get you more information on that property. Okay, so we're going to run the gamut here on the sources that we are going to cite here with the information that we're going to provide. So I'm going to start with California Association of Realtors, because this is a little good news, bad news, and we'll start here. Third quarter 2022 housing affordability. So a little bit of good news, bad news for buyers here, but you can see here, right here, housing affordability inches up from recent trough, but remains depressed by higher rates. So we are inching forward in terms of a housing affordability standpoint. And this is from CAR out earlier today. So you can see that there's a little bit of good news, bad news there. But, it's you can see some of the figures here. 18% of California households could afford to purchase the $829,760 median priced home in the state in the third quarter of 2022, up from 16%. So again, a tick up of 2% in terms of people who could afford the median household price in the state of California. Median annual income of $192,800 was needed to make monthly payments of $4,820, including principal. Nearly 30% of California home buyers were able to purchase the $630,000 median priced condo or townhome. So that's a bit up as well. So again, housing affordability inching up a bit on a number of different fronts here. So that in the state, that is some good news, but again, not overly exuberant on the news, because it's still a marginal increase in terms of affordability. We're talking 2%, like I said, a jump of affordability. So that being said, let's get to some of the other pieces of information we wanted to talk about, and this is courtesy of Reports on Housing and their great metrics that they provide us. And this is, of course, Orange County based, but I think you can get a pretty good barometer on things. This is what a lot of people are talking about: foreclosures, short sales, and the like. For a while in this, even with the rates being where they are, and or house prices being where they are, a lot of people kept saying this is around the corner, this is around the corner. Well, it hasn't really taken place yet. We'll have to keep watching this, but it's still, I mean, you see here available foreclosures and short sales in all of Orange County, 7. And when you look back, this is again kind of a barometer of where things were. Go ahead and look at November of 2011, which is just, in that really, really bad time for a lot of folks in the foreclosure arena. You see there's 3,500 at that time. And then you go November of 1954. So, of course, in that 2008 to 2011 area when loans were giving out, all the subprime loans, et cetera, that caused this huge number here in Orange County, 3,563 available foreclosure listings in 2011. You see here, you gauge that today, 7. So even a big difference from a handful of years ago, 54. So this is still not moving the needle in terms of foreclosures and short sales. So again, when a lot of people are saying, big bubble, it's going to burst and doom and gloom, there's still these numbers out here that give you major pause on that and really kind of say, well, wait, take a step back, look at everything, look at the big picture. This is one of those kind of metrics that you can gauge to see exactly where the market is. And again, 7 available foreclosures and short sales in the entire county of Orange. That should tell you a little bit of something of what's happening right here. And then let's get to another great piece of information that Reports on Housing has shared with us. And you can see here price reductions, a little bit of the name of the game here. Price reductions and carefully pricing a home allows sellers to walk away with the most money possible and achieve success quickly. And then you see here the lowest level since June in terms of the active listing inventory. It has decreased the past couple of weeks. Now, we saw this spike from June till about late August, early September. You saw a spike. There was a slow, gradual incline of inventory in the early part of the year. It started out at about 1,100 active homes. And then, it got to about 1,600, 1,800 in the early parts of summer. And then all of a sudden, June through August hits, and you're getting into 3,000 to 4,000 active homes. And then now, it's kind of been a little bit stagnant. You see there 3,581 as of a few days ago, active inventory in Orange County. So that has kind of been stagnant there. And you see there 35% fewer homes that came on the market compared to the 3-year average prior to COVID, 1,042 homes total less. And last year there were 1,783 homes on the market. So demand does fall here. And you see demand of pending sales over the prior month decreased by 68 pending sales, down 5%. Now totals 1,202. Closed sales down 38% year over year. Again, things have just kind of hit a holding pattern here. So you see there were closed 1,726 closed residential resales in October, 38% less than October of 21. So things have kind of hit the brakes a bit, but that doesn't mean that things aren't moving in general. Doesn't mean there are not opportunities out there for folks. And let's start with a little bit of extra information on the buying side. Now, obviously that what we've talked about, and I had this conversation a couple of nights ago at an event I was at, it's just kind of like, what is this market doing? And really, I just kind of keep saying, it's the balancing of those scales right now and managing expectations from everybody right now. There has been, kind of this big shift, I guess, if you want to call it power or what have you, but there's been a big shift of the pendulum kind of swinging back a little bit closer to the buyer side and favoring them a little bit. But really, this is kind of what we're in right now is a transition period towards a more normal market. And so that's what I think we need to think about when managing expectations. And, there's an article on realtor.com I'll bring up here in terms of buyers having more power. But really, it's kind of what we said here about, the power may not lie in a monthly payment of a loan necessarily or an interest rate that you get there. However, what there are opportunities for out there for folks are opportunities to get creative with a potential loan that you have there and a loan program. You'll want to consult a loan professional, a home loan professional on that to make sure that you get the best program for you. obviously, we're going to reference Dave Ramsey. I know a lot of people are, he's got some strong opinions. So folks have some strong opinions about him as well. But he is a financial guru, and he does know quite a bit about the housing market as well. And we like to kind of get his 2 cents here and there. So we'll talk about him in a little bit. But again, there's kind of a semi-viral thing quote of his going around on social media, wherein it says, right now, if you're waiting for the interest rates to go down, it's buy now and refinance a little bit down the road to get that interest rate down. That's an option for you. And a lot of lenders are doing things where, they'll work with you on the refinance down the road if you work out with a home purchase for them. Others, there's the seller working with the interest buy down as well. That's a possibility. You'd want to talk to the other agent on that front. So definitely do that. And, it's time to get creative for a lot of folks right now, but it's also an opportune time for a lot of reasons. And some of this may be a bit obvious here. And this is the realtor.com article. Home showings are down. We are seeing that. Average home prices are falling, which can balance out the rate hikes. It can. Yeah. So, some of these things can balance out for you. And then of course, there are just some price reductions and or things that are out there that help buyers with, list prices not astronomical immediately. And we've talked about this for a while now, a bidding war with 10 to 15 other offers on a home. That's not really what we're working with, but there is still some good competition out there as well. And then there's no more eliminating contingencies. That's one of the things, obviously, this, like I said, the days of the bidding war are gone. And then, this is the other one I wanted to talk about. Again, the mortgage rate buy downs, those are available there for folks. So that is something to think about. And you definitely want to talk to a trusted loan professional out there to give you all of the options and for you to find the best option for you. Just a little bit of a update from the lending side. Kevin Buddy of Monarch Coast Financial, we like to reference him a lot. We're going to try and get him on this program as well to give you information on, different loan programs and things of that nature. But, again, as of a recent update from him, we had that big dip in interest rates, about 0.6% in a matter of a day because of the inflation reporting here. But jumbo 30-year fixed rate is 5.25%. You see the national averages between 7+%, et cetera. But we have been speaking with lending professionals like Kevin Buddy of Monarch Coast Financial, wherein they are quoting people with, again, when you grab that headline, this is where the rate is. Well, your rate may not be there based on your debt, based on your credit score and all of that. So you definitely want to keep tabs on all of that and speak with a lending professional like a Kevin Buddy of Monarch Coast Financial to get the best idea for you and what's out there for a loan program for you, because there's a lot of creative options potentially out there for folks. Okay, let's keep going here and let's talk about sellers in this market, because this is something that I think is important right now, because again, managing expectations and knowing where the market is right now is invaluable. And here I want to talk about Ramsey Solutions here. One of the things that I want to talk about, though, a lot of folks are saying, well, it's the holidays now. Things, the market's going to close up shop. There's not going to be a lot of activity. Folks are going to be busy this time of year and not with buying real estate. That is true. However, I can think of a small handful of deals, at least in recent memory, wherein our brokerage has closed deals before year's end. And here's why. Number one, folks want to get everything in order. And if they're going to buy property, if they are serious about buying a property, they want to do so before year's end to make sure that it's all put together for tax purposes. So that is part of the equation. And then, the thing is while the quantity of buyers may be down during the holiday season. You're going to get more serious buyers. The quality level of buyers is going to be up because, again, you're going to have serious buyers out there. You're going to have people that are wanting to make a move before year's end, and they will navigate the holidays to potentially do it. And they may see something that, hey, maybe it's been sitting out there for a little bit, and they may want to say, hey, let's come to some sort of agreement. Let's come to a deal here. Let's figure this out. So that's part of it. And then Dave Ramsey also and his team brings up an interesting tidbit here. You can see here buyers mean business right here, and the time off aspect. This is the same can be said about, well, they're going to be too busy wrapped up with buying gifts and spending time going out of town doing all kinds of things. Well, here's the deal. If you have an investment property, number one, or a property that could be an investment property in an area wherein there's a lot of tourism or, people coming into town because they want to be there, guess what? They may be there to also look at property. So that is something to think about. And then also right here, what I've got highlighted, many people also have more time off around the holidays. The holidays bring big breaks of work. So yeah, while there's shopping and going out and holiday parties and all, and the occasional work, there's a lot of time off. There's a lot of breaks for a lot of folks, a lot of official holidays. And oh, by the way, there's a lot of school holidays as well. So they are going to be able to have a little bit more freedom to potentially see a house on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, that sort of thing. Whereas, a month ago, earlier this month, what have you, they may not have that flexibility. So again, this means more time for browsing on home apps, dreaming about their future decor, even scheduling home showings. By the way, I didn't read this part, but he's echoing what I said, getting the tax breaks before the year end. That is a biggie. That's what I'm talking about. And then again, echoing what I said also, buyers mean business. You're going to get a more serious buyer this time of year. So again, the quantity may not be there in terms of amount of buyers during the holidays, but there's a flip of the coin as well, right? There's a little bit of, hey, you may get some people in town during a touristy type of area or in a touristy type of area that is looking for their next property, and they may be ready to spring on something in a particular area. And then of course you have more serious buyers because of tax, year-end tax wrap-ups and everything. So something to think about as a seller. And then of course a little bit more interesting article here, how to sell a house in this market or in this different changing market. I talked about a little bit, the interest rate buy down and whatnot. These are things that a lot of people are talking about strategically reducing the price. And then, there's other things too. You can talk about home warranties with the other side, throwing in something unexpected. But again, the thing I want to talk a little bit more about is this interest rate buy down. And I'm going to focus in on this part of the article that I have pinned up here from realtor.com, because I think it's worth noting and worth letting people know about. And again, you want to consult a loan professional, a lending professional on this. But essentially, a rate buy down, you can see here, Michelle Momoli, a broker out in New Jersey, says a rate buy down could be a specific amount of money credited at closing that a buyer can use towards points on their mortgage. And because buyers have the option to refinance, rates go down again, they can use their closing costs. Now, sellers may sit there and look at this and go, oh man, that's just money out of my pocket, money out of my pocket. Why would I do that? Well, this can be in lieu of a price reduction and can be more appealing to a potential buyer because it's going towards that interest rate that they saw inflate a bit over the past couple of months as they've potentially been looking at homes. So that's where this becomes really appealing for a lot of folks, is the, when you do it on the back end here, offered to pay down their interest rate by a point or two. It says Doug Green of Signature Properties, Philly. And then you can see here, it potentially does more in terms of appeal to a potential buyer than saying, and helps you as a seller than dropping it 30,000, 50,000, that sort of thing. So something to think about. I know it's not something sellers have had to think about, But again, as the market turns and as we're in this transitional phase, there are still people that are going to be listing their homes and trying to navigate this. These are the things you need to think about. So you need to consult with a lending professional. You need to consult with a real estate professional. We would love to be that resource for you at Casabella Realty Group. I hope that all of you have. We're gonna get to you before Thanksgiving. I promise you, we're gonna get to you before Thanksgiving. But if we do not, if you do not check out our videos before then, have a great Thanksgiving holiday. We'll be back with more information on the market, what's happening, helpful tips, and everything. Go to CasabellaRealtyGroup.com. Go to CasabellaSocal@gmail.com for any kind of help that you would need from us as a real estate brokerage. We'd love to be your industry go-to resource and or any kind of referral source that we can get you, again, on the lending side, even home repairs, anything like that. We want to help you out. I'm Anthony Cosenza with Casabella Realty Group, Realtor. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday evening, Friday afternoon. Appreciate it. We want to help you out, and hopefully you found this informative. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you before Thanksgiving, I promise. But if not, take care and have a good Thanksgiving. We will see you soon.